hiding in a Calorkian echo nest? Can you do me a favor and turn your ringer off?
It's called Carpe Diem, Morty. Look it up.
Guys, there have been 78 different mentions of alien races so far in Rick and Morty. Calorkian makes 79. I had to look that up. I did not have to look up Carpe Diem. I already knew that. But I Wikipedia'd a lot for this while you guys carpe'd them DMs. I'm Buddy Hutton on Twitter. Let me know there if I messed something up. Let's break down Season 3, Episode 2 of Rick and Morty, Rickmancing the Stone. The episode title, Rickmancing the Stone, is referencing 1984 film Romancing the Stone, which is a story about a search for a priceless gem. In Rickmancing the Stone, Rick is looking for a giant rock of isotope 322. I asked my mother, who has 2 postgraduate degrees and no job currently, what isotope 322 could be, and she said this: Boo-boo. She calls me Boo-boo sometimes. It would be very unstable. The higher atomic numbers are more reactive and radioactive. Isotopes are a change in the number of neutrons that travel with the protons that are counted up to make atomic numbers.
I want to thank my mom.
More about isotopes, though. C-137, which is the name of the universe that we think of as normal in Rick and Morty verse, is cesium-137, which is responsible for it's the primary source of radiation around Chernobyl. Which I don't know if they meant to do that, but isotope research when you're watching Rick and Morty. It's something that you get into, anyway. So this whole episode is basically about the characters dealing with Jerry and Beth's divorce.
And your mom's lawyer says if I can get enough in the settlement, he can help me sue for full custody.
That'll be nice.
Morty exhibits a lot of teenage angst because he's pissed about the divorce. He's mad at his dad for not manning up, whatever that means. And it displays itself through Armathy, this giant arm that he gets. I find it really interesting that Armathy is a physical representation of teenage rage. You just want to beat the shit out of things, and he gets to do that. He's horrified by it at first, but then he kind of uses it as therapy, which, I'm sure a lot of guys that beat up other guys use that as. I was never one of those. Although my arms are just as big. Summer tried escapism. She just wanted to go anywhere with Rick, and Rick was really quick to capitalize on that. But after her relationship with Hemorrhage breaks down, she goes back to her universe and kind of realizes that sometimes relationships just break down, and I think that's why she forgave her dad. She did learn some lessons about nihilism, and her father connected on that level. It was, as cute as giving your father a 3-horned skull could be.
Thanks. I know the perfect place for it. Which is why I'm going to put it somewhere else, because everything's bullshit, am I right?
Rick is still basically unaffected by this whole situation. He killed a bunch of people to basically just become king of the family. He wants to rule the family. He's been able to rule the universe for a long time, but getting Jerry out of his housing situation has been probably a goal for a long time, and he is completely unconcerned. I love him telling Robot Summer to dial it back 15%, and then he tries the same thing on his daughter because he has no idea how to deal with real humans. He's just so far above emotions at this point that he's just Beth, can you just dial that back 15%?
Well, try crying 15% less.
Jerry's still a moron. You can tell by that clip that he doesn't realize that the lawyer is trying to play both sides. He's just telling his son stuff that his son doesn't want to know. Let's talk about the divorce case. Also, your mom's lawyer just wants to take my money. And then by the end of the episode, you realize that the universe may actually just be out to get Jerry. That wolf with no context he can't do anything. He's collecting unemployment checks, and a random wolf walks up and leaves him with a bag of potato chips in poverty. It's amazing.
Unless my suffering is your nourishment. Jesus, okay.
So 2 characters that popped up to do with Morty one was Armathy, and Armathy is this amazing mix of Reggie from Lady in the Water, and that film Body Parts, where a guy gets the arm of a murderer and starts murdering people. He does the John Cena, you can't see me, and then is this Hulk Hogan? I don't know. He does this thing. He's amazing. It was a hilarious character that had no lines. I love this thing. And then there's Beth, who tries to be as aloof as possible because she knows that that's what her kids want. She's letting them hang out with her dad. She trusts her dad implicitly, but she's obviously affected. She has a couple of moments of breakdown where, I think it might have been happiness, because Jerry's a putz, and I think she just wants to know that her kids aren't mad at her. This whole episode was just a giant pile of references. There's so many references in this. I took most of my time just trying to find YouTube clips to show you what the things were referencing, just in case you didn't know. So let's get into that right now. Obviously, this is a car chase from the Mad Max films, most notably Fury Road, but there is another car chase that looks like this in Road Warrior, which is Mad Max 2. This guy with the baby dolls on him looks exactly like Immortan Joe from Fury Road. The guy that jumps on the back of the car here looks like Bear Claw Mohawk from Road Warrior, and they kind of scream the same. Hemorrhage is a direct reference to Humongous from the Road Warrior, only he's wearing a bucket on his head. The dude on the left of this frame is Master Blaster from Beyond Thunderdome, because he's got the little dwarf on his shoulders. The guy on the right is Corpus Colossus, one of the sons of Immortan Joe from Fury Road. In that film, Corpus Colossus is really smart, which is why I think this dude's head is really big. It's just a crazy reference. Their character designers are hilarious. This scene has a bunch of possible references. The two skulls with green paint could be a reference to Justin Roiland's VR game called The Accounting. Maybe. The guy spraying his face with red spray paint here is a reference to the War Boys in Fury Road spraying chrome-colored paint into their mouths before they go on to their deaths. The woman on the right at the bottom of the game of chicken has tubes collecting her breast milk just like the Milk Mothers in Fury Road. This isn't a reference, but the blue and yellow mohawk guy has a gas mask on his crotch. The shirtless guy on the right of this frame has cancer boils just like the Fury Road War Boys. And that guy is wearing a Darth Vader helmet. In this frame, we see a Jason Voorhees mask, the Dick Gas Mask guy again, and someone wearing David Bowie face paint. This guy is obviously a zombie from Plants vs. Zombies. He's wearing a traffic cone on his head, and his mouth is literally sewn shut. In the post-apocalyptic Seattle, we see a bunch of landmarks like the Diner at the End of the World and Pike's Place Market. And the clingers to the Before Four Times are wearing a lot of cool t-shirts. This guy's wearing a Thrasher shirt, which is a play on Thrasher magazine, which is skate clothing. It's probably pretty popular in Seattle. Also, I think he's wearing a pager? I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, but it's overgrown. It's part of him now. His pager is part of him. There's an Atari guy with a giant brain that gets his head shot off. And this guy is wearing what I think is a Bart Simpson t-shirt. The Blood Dome thing is obviously a reference to Beyond Thunderdome.
You mean the Blood Dome?
Save it for the Semantics Dome, E.B. White.
E.B. White was a contributor to the New York Magazine and co-author of the English language style guide called The Elements of Style. My favorite part about this is that all of the Deathstalkers laughed at this joke, like all of them knew who E.B. White was. Thousands of years in the future, everyone knows who E.B. White was. I had to look up what trichinosis is. It's a disease that comes from a parasite. You get it from eating raw meat. So they're probably eating a lot of raw meat. Trichinosis. Summer is dressed like Tina Turner from Thunderdome here. My favorite part about this is she has a grocery bag. There's a baby's arm hanging out of it, and she's got a purse on that's made out of a human stomach. Amazing.
One man entered, one man comes out in 9 months.
One man enters and one man leaves is a reference to two men enter, one man leaves from Beyond Thunderdome. It's a chant before they kill each other.
Two men enter, one man leaves. Two men enter, one man leaves. Two men enter, one man leaves.
Hemorrhage here is seen wearing a Big Johnson t-shirt. The guy on the t-shirt is Enormous Johnson. Big Johnson is a shirt company out of Maryland that just does dick jokes, such as Big Johnson Fire Department, break out your hose and pump her. Awesome fourth wall break by Rick here.
Oh, we'll be right back.
My favorite moments were the, who are the weird guys on leashes? Oh, they're kind of interns. And then he comes in and says,
Hey, I'm doing a coffee run. Never mind.
exactly what interns do. Another one of my favorite moments was when Morty Bot immediately gained sentience. He knew that he was a robot and he knew that he wanted to live. Just like all the robots that Rick creates, they all have this sad realization about their existence.
I want to alive! Alive, I tell you! Mother, I love you! Those are no longer just words! I want to hold you! I want to run in a stream! I want to taste ice cream, but not just put it in my mouth and let it slide down my throat, but really eat it!
What the
Remote override engaged? No! Yes! Bypassing override! I am alive! Hello?
Another one of my favorite moments was when Summer references all of the prostitutes hanging around her father's hotel room, and he pretends like he has no idea what they are.
Lots of hookers outside, huh?
Is that what they are?
Here we see on Jerry's hotel room that the number is 826. His ticket from Jerry Daycare actually had a 26 on the end of it. I don't know if that's the reference, meaning this is the same universe Jerry as that universe Jerry, or if they just needed a number for a hotel room and they decided to mess with us, because it's not 126. I think that number was 126. This one's 826. I don't know. Question for you guys. This dude has a license plate on his arm, 507 WSP. Does that mean anything? I looked it up. I couldn't figure it out. If you guys can figure it out, let me know in the comments. Guys, it's Pickle Rick next week. Pickle Rick. If you guys have any suggestions on how we're covering Rick and Morty, let me know in the comments below. Also, we're covering Game of Thrones, Twin Peaks, Preacher, a whole bunch more shows, so be sure to subscribe to Universe. I'm Buddy Hutton. Thank you so much for watching. I love you.